So Sony have launched a brand new A1 Mark II. My DMs on Instagram just absolutely lit up with people asking me my opinions on it. What did I think about it? Was I going to be buying it? And I don't keep ahead of the new cameras that are coming. I let them be launched and then I just make up my own mind later. But I don't be on camera rumor websites, you know, sifting through. Let's get into this. Let's have a look. I've got the specs sitting here ready to go, and let's just talk through these and see what I think. And of course, let me know in the comments your thoughts on this camera, and do you agree with what I am saying here in this video? I'm looking here and it's bigger is better, bigger is better, bigger is better. And that's not the camera body, that's the spec. It has to be. It can't be just, we can't go 30 megapixels, we have to go bigger. We can't have 4K video anymore, we have to go bigger. It's kind of like Jurassic Park, isn't it, really? Like, you know, like in the first movie, it was great to see a T-Rex. In the second movie, we got 2 T-Rexes. In the third movie, we got a whole new dinosaur. Then when we went on to the next ones, it just got insane. This is where we're at right now. We're at the new Jurassic Park movies. 8K video. I'll come back to that in a second. Right, let's turn back. I'm going to go in line with the way Sony A1ii has listed it. So photo first, then the rest. 50.1 megapixels. Why not just 50? What difference is the 0.1 making to your resolution? So I'd like to see what that is and why that decision was made. Then and like, you don't need 50 megapixels. I'm using a Sony A7 IV and 30 megapixels is plenty. I did graphic design for 10 years and I'm telling you, for billboards, you can get away with a file that's 3000 pixels as long as it's 300 dpi, because you can downscale it to 150 dpi for it to be billboard. You don't need it. You really and truly don't need that size megapixels. I've yet to get, and so many clients now don't print. It's all web. So they're always getting you this, you'll send your full res versions and a web ready smaller version for them. If I thought that I needed that size of a resolution, I would never have bought the A7 IV. I would have bought the A7R5, but I didn't. I got the 4 and it's been working great for me for the last 2 years. The next thing is getting me. I love it. I love it. AI processing unit assists the real-time recognition AF for shooting video and stills. So it's AI enhanced autofocus. Or as they said when it was a more popular term a couple of years ago, an algorithm. If this was a couple of years ago, this would have been algorithm based. It would have been all about algorithm, an algorithm based AF system for shooting video and photo. Now the buzzword is AI. And I'm gonna throw that out, I'm gonna say it. It is an absolute buzzword. Because what is the difference? What has been introduced now in the difference than it was? Is it actually AI, or are you just using some clever marketing term? Look at Apple. When they have their retina displays, that's not a resolution term. That's a marketing term. That's an Apple marketing term. There is no such resolution measurement as retina. You know, that's not a thing. It's just a marketing buzzword. AI is becoming the buzzword. So this is why I wanted to come on here. I'm just looking at these and the specs are huge. And then we've got AI being pushed here and AI being pushed here. And in some cases, it is actually AI. And I'd love to see what part of that is actually AI. And then there's other parts that it isn't. It's just fast processing. Even you look at ChatGPT, in a lot of cases, it's not a smarter person in a digital form. It's just fast processing. If you were to compare apples to apples, like, what is it actually doing that the other ones couldn't do before that makes it AI over the other ones? That's where I'm kind of like, where is the line being drawn? Like, is the technology completely shifted? Because it would have to be. If it was algorithm based originally and now it's AI, then they must be completely separate. Or is it just an advanced version of what was there before? So then let's move on then. So we've got 759 autofocus detection points. I haven't cared about the number of points in years, because back when we had like the Canon 6D, which probably had, what was it they had before? They had like, was it 2-phase detection and the rest were contrast detected, and you had like 16 little dots in a cluster. That's when we cared. But once we went over 400, you know, it's just, yeah. So, okay, cool. 759 points, that's all right. So IBIS, they're saying up to 8.5 stops. They're saying steps, but I would have thought it was stops of light. I may have understood that wrong. I thought it was stops of light in comparison for the gain of stability. Oh, I don't know. I haven't got a clue. Anyway, it's stable. I did see a reel today with that dude Misha. And he was down at Dumbo in New York, and he handheld across, and I was just like, oh. Now I have seen the smooth handheld stability of the A1ii does look very promising. They are slowly but surely going after the gimbal market. They don't want gimbals. They're like, we can just get you to do it and hold it in your hand. RAW options include lossless RAW. It's kind of stating the obvious, isn't it? It shoots RAW photos. They all do. 8K. Do we need 8K? Like, what broadcaster is broadcasting in 8K? Where can you put 8K? Where can you actually post 8K? So at the minute, you're going to be buying this camera to shoot in 8K, to downscale to 4K. Like, when was the last time someone recorded in 4K to downscale to HD? Like, it was an extra bit of effort that wasn't needed. And I would say, oh, and it's oversampling at 8.6K. Okay. I thought it was going to be more than that. I honestly did think it was going to be more than just 8.5. So it's pretty much, so when it's shooting at 8K, it is actually, that's the limit, basically. It's a little bit over just to get you that sharper image. Oh, you can see here at 4K with 50p, it's oversampled from 5.8K. So not quite 6K, but that's fine. That's good. I like the introduction of the 100 FPS at 4K, but I like the fact that it's 200 at full HD. Yes, you'll use that far more. Honestly, once you start going down into those really fast, they're not even really fast, but just much, much faster slow motion options for product photography. Yeah, and like you think about it, like how much stuff has been recorded for Reels, which is only a HD output. We're going to see a lot more. We're going to see a lot more cool stuff being shared with people who have this camera. And that's got my attention there. Now that's good. That's a good step forward, because it's been a struggle to kind of get them to get. I'd rather see them up the slow motion and the resolution than increase the resolution of the camera. But someone may hit me in the comments saying, okay, they need to actually expand on the overall resolution, because as you go faster in the FPS, you know, if you look at anyone who's shooting any of them slow-mo guys and stuff, when they're shooting 10,000 and 30,000 frames a second, like the image is getting smaller and smaller and smaller to handle the processing. Could be the same. So in essence, if the camera can hold 8K, then it should be able to hold full HD at 200 FPS. And I say 200, not 240, because I'm in Ireland, we're in PAL, and we should be shooting PAL. So that's 25, 50, 100, 200, etc. Okay, the rest of the stuff, codecs, still the same, S-Log 3, import up to 16 LUTs. I didn't even know you could input LUTs into a camera. That's cool, I like that. It'd be nice to see. If you've got a specific LUT for your video, it'd be nice to see when you're shooting that you can actually shoot for the LUT as opposed to guessing. You know, like I set mine to 2 stops overexposed or 1.7, or I set my zebra lines to 80% or 85%. No, I set my LUT and I set it to my LUT and I just judge it, because that's what we do when we're shooting photos. There is a LUT already applied, and we shoot our RAWs to that, and then we go home and edit. Flash sync speeds up to 1/400 of a second. Yes. I don't agree with the 8K video. I do agree with this. That is great. That is absolutely fantastic. And at APS-C, 1/500 of a second. Okay. That's cool. I do like that. That is really cool, because the 1/250 of a second is quite limiting when you're shooting like f1.4, f1.8 outside, because you either have to go into high speed sync on your flash where there's problems with that, or you have to use ND filters, and there's problems with that because it's just cumbersome. You either use variable NDs, we were introducing polarization, or you have to take the 3-stop off and go and actually physically get the 6-stop and just be guessing, but your range of stopping down isn't as fluid as a variable ND, because the variable ND you can just kind of just ease it in, where you just have to go to these hard stops when you have actual ND filters to put on. I prefer the ND route over the high-speed sync, so having 1/400 of a second means I probably only have to drop down to 3 stops as opposed to 6 stops. It's a very welcomed addition. I like that. I really do like that there. And then they're saying 2 CF Express Type A compatible slots. So that means you're going to have to upgrade to the expensive cards. So the camera's already expensive, the cards are going to be expensive, and it's just, you know, because the process, I would say that's probably going to account for the 8K video. That's not for photos, because standard SD cards can handle 50 megapixels, no problem. 2 batteries, 155 minutes of charging time. So you get you don't get do you get 2 batteries with this camera? Sony's giving you a few extra gifts at Christmas. I like that one. Not much, but then again, I bought 2 batteries there the other day, and they were like €90 each. Like, they're a complete rip-off. They're far too expensive for what they are, and we haven't had a new kind of battery in a long time. Like, what are they? 2,500 milliamp hours, something like that. Like, I don't understand. I understand less about batteries than I do about algorithms and AI. Built-in Wi-Fi, which is cool. I do love wireless tethering from my A7 IV. It means I'm free to roam my studio. I don't have to worry about breaking cables and connections and that there. Built-in microphone for voice memo. For, I don't know what. Dear diary, today I shot a photo. It was delicious. I don't know what you'd be doing voice memos. Take 1, take 2. It doesn't. That's odd. Really, that's a bit of an odd one. Yeah. Ergonomic grip buttons. Looks basically like any other camera Sony has brought out. I don't think the size has changed all that much. And then I've actually skipped over one really great thing as well. Continuous shooting up to 30 frames a second with full AF tracking. That is really good. Look, 30 FPS is great to have. I had it when I was with Fuji, but it was electronic shutter, and you had a bad case of rolling shutter. If anyone moved or if you moved, you had a bad case of rolling shutter. So that was a bit of a pain. With the global shutters that are coming now on these cameras, absolutely excellent. And you could shoot that absolutely quiet as a mouse. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. No. Why am I miming when I have a camera right here? Nobody will know. Nobody will know. I love that meme. Look, it's really good to have 30 FPS. I know that it's not the 120 that the A1ii III offers. Who is this camera for? The A7 IV is a hybrid camera, so hybrid shooters like myself. Then you've got the A7S III videographers, obviously 12 megapixel sensor. It's not going to be for photography. Then you've got the A1ii III sports. Well, it's 100% sports. If ever there was a camera for sports, that's the camera for sports. Where's this camera? What is this camera for? Because you've got the A7R5 is for landscape photographers and anyone who needs that high megapixel range, 63 megapixels. This camera could be geared towards the advertising photographers, the product photographers, those who are in a situation right now where the client's needs are for photo and video, and in some cases they're getting you to double job. So if you have a camera that can shoot 200 FPS video and as well as that 30 FPS raw photo, pretty cool. That's pretty cool. You're going to get some really nice results in your photography. But the only thing is, you then have to make sure, like my studio is a very bright studio. I have a huge window over there. It's not really ideal for shooting in video. Much better for, you can see like like even here, for the hallway here in the building I'm in, like, it's the sensor lights that are out there. Anyone walks out there, the light turns back on again. And you saw it earlier in the video, like, the sun has gone down. It's dark here now. And as well as that, it could be for the videographers who are the other way. They're the other side of things as well. They specialize in video. They have all video equipment, lights and all the rest. And they're said, oh, but we need photos as well. And you're like, oh, what do I do? Well, now you got a camera that can shoot 30 FPS. That's not bad. That's pretty cool still. You can do some nice, cinemagraphs, some GIFs, like have like move an image. So a bit of text. And it's shot like a still image, but it has just a slight bit of movement or something in it. That's becoming quite big. And actually, when you see the price point as well, in and around 7,500, they're competing against like Hasselblad then, if you think about it. Decent size resolution, they've got all this extra features for video. That's who I think it's geared for. I think it's geared for the advertisers who are in a predicament because of social media, and that's the honest truth about it. And they need to change things up, and this camera is it. It's a hefty price to have to go for that camera and a backup camera. It's, you're never going to not have a backup camera. I have backup cameras, so €15,000. It's nothing to be snubbed at. Do I think it's worth the money? No, unfortunately not. I do not think it's worth the money. Most of the features from me would go past me. I don't need 8K. I would love 200 FPS. that's not a nice to have, that's a lovely to have. It's an absolute lovely to have. 50 megapixels, lovely to have as well. Do I want to spend $7.5 on it? No, I do not. There are my thoughts on the new camera. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video, you liked it. Give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on all the social medias under Mark Duffy Photography. And until the next time, later gators.